thank you so much for joining us for Happy News. We're so excited to have you here.
It's my pleasure to be here.
So Helene is the director of Norwescap Food Bank, and so we have a few questions for her today. So Helene, if you could please tell me a little bit about your background and a little bit about what Norwescap does for the Warren and Hunterdon County community.
I would be happy to. So I have been the director here at the food bank for almost 13 years. But before working here, I was very much involved with the food bank anyway. My Kiwanis Club that I belong to does food baskets every year for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. And so we have belonged to the food bank for more than 20 years. And I was often the one who would come, place the order, pick up the food, and bring it to wherever we were going to assemble the food boxes. So I was very familiar with them. I got to know all of the people that worked here. I admired their mission, and I really admired the way they carried out their mission. So years later, when the opportunity presented itself to work here, I was really excited to become part of an organization that I admired so much. Norwescap itself is quite a spectacular organization. Everything Norwescap does is geared toward helping low-income people become more self-reliant or self-sufficient and raise themselves out of poverty. So the food bank is just one of many, many, many Norwescap programs, and all of the programs are geared toward helping people, as I said, become more self-sufficient.
That's amazing. Mm-hmm. So Helene, how have you adjusted your work to accommodate your clients and or community in this current climate?
We have been nonstop. We haven't missed a day. Many of our programs, just like a lot of other companies, have been working from home or working split shifts and things like that, but not the food bank. We've been here all day, every day. No one has missed a beat. So we've been going strong ever since the pandemic started, and we'll continue to do that as long as we have to.
And with much of the nation acknowledging the disparities in racial and social justice, how is Norwescap positively contributing to justice and equality?
Doing a lot of things. First of all, remember again, we deal with a lot of low-income people, and poverty and race and equality are all inextricably connected. So, we've got to find a way to eliminate poverty. And if we can eliminate poverty, that will open the doors to a more just society all the way around. But Norwescap is very aware of what's going on in the community, in all the communities now, and they've tried to do a number of different things. Some things we've been doing for quite a while, and others new initiatives that we've taken on, or things that they're trying to beef up a little bit more than we did before. So some examples for you of things Norwescap does. We know that the disparity is incredible. Just the disparity between the net worth of a white family versus a black family. A white family's annual net worth is $171,000. A black family's is $17,500. It's tenfold. Wow. That's just unacceptable, and it's untenable. So that's all part of our financial literacy initiatives that we're doing, trying to get people to learn how to save and grow their savings. We have short-term and long-term goals. I can say a short-term goal is giving them food, but the long-term goal is if they receive food from the pantry, then that frees up some of their money to use on other things like rent and utilities and transportation and medical, and to pay their bills and to keep current on their bills, because it's really important to build up a good credit rating and maintain that for future. So, the short-term goal is putting food on the table. The long-term goal is, again, part of the self-sufficiency and the financial piece of it. So we're always looking down the line to see how what we do now can have an impact going forward. I can tell you that 1/3 of our board of directors is reserved for low-income clients or participants. So we want the people who are receiving Norwescap services to have a say in what those services are and how they're delivered. So I think that's a really important piece.
That's amazing. It's so good to hear that Norwescap has been doing so much and is continuing to do work to address all these disparities in our community.
Absolutely.
Helene, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
So what is one meaningful thought or lesson that you would like to share with our viewers?
Um, I have to say I have two things. One is very
Okay.
simple, one's a little more complicated. The first one, and this is easy, but it's something that I use a lot with students. I do a lot of work with teenagers, mentoring, and one of the things I tell them all the time is, if you screw up, if you make a mistake, own up to it and admit to it, because people will admire your honesty much more than they would admire perfection. So I think it's
Absolutely.
important for young people especially to know that it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and you try not to repeat them. So that's something I've taught my kids for years, and I've taught students that I mentor, and I think that's an important thing for them to know. But the bigger thing is, if and when you are asked to serve, do not hesitate to say yes, because helping other people is not a chore, it's a privilege. And no matter how little you think you have, whether it's too little time, too little money, too little energy, no matter how little you think you have, there is always someone who has less. And if you can give to them without hesitation, simply because you know it's the right thing to do, then you will be richer by far than the man who has everything but a sense of purpose. And those were my closing remarks then, and they're going to be my closing remarks now because I
I
think
love
it's
that.
still appropriate.
Yeah, that is a great advice. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Helene, for your time. We are so appreciative of all the work that Norwescap does for our community. And thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. And anytime someone needs something in the community, if they're not sure where to turn, I would say call Norwescap first, because chances are we have a program that can help them.